Here we go. This is episode 3, I think, of the Jamboy Podcast. This week we're going to talk about being a nub, growing up from being a nub, hating nubs, liking nubs, all the shit that has to do with nubs. And for the uninformed, we're not talking about disformed
amputees. We're not talking about amputees.
I did not recruit extraordinary people. I recruited people who had extraordinary potential, and then I trained them.
How many have you had?
11!
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Lying no morning.
Say that one more time. 随便啊。I'm not gonna throw up on it. That's what the trash are.
We're talking about non-useful bodies on submarines, aka non-qualified junior sailors. Specifically the enlisted, but officers can fall into that category as well.
Yeah, there's non-useful officers for sure.
Yeah. But before we get to that, Clay told us in the pre-recording that mechanics are now standing shutdown reactor operator, qualifying and standing shutdown reactor operator. So let's talk about whether or not that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It
Mikey,
depends.
I want you to go first.
That's weighted for me. Obviously, it's going to be it's a qual that I kind of understand to an extent for manning purposes and development, but it's one of those things where you're not going to send every sailor through supervisor NECs.
Yes.
So you're not going to send every mechanic through shutdown reactor operator quals.
I mean,
How do you
there's
pick and
certain
choose that?
E-divers and RC divers that shouldn't be in SRO quals.
Yes,
Good point.
but
Right.
they end up
But they're
being
required.
So. Yes.
Yeah. But I think
So-
the EDM now requires all nuclear qualified sailors to qualify SRO.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. No,
that's
I
spicy.
think there's.
Fucking ELTs.
I think so.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild, huh? I mean, I
it
think
is
if you can
wild.
qualify engine room supervisor, you have enough knowledge or the ability to retain knowledge to qualify and be responsible and stand SRO.
okay.
Not that everyone that's qualified SRO knows what they're doing or is responsible enough to really hold that watch.
Sure. I get that aspect because as an engine room supervisor, you've got to know all the mechanic wash stations, and there's so much shit on all those wash stations combined that you've always got to have a thumb on at any given moment. But, and here's my kicker: how often are these mechanics standing shutdown reactor operator versus roving watch?
Well, dude,
In port.
who do you think they're gonna make 3 section?
Yeah.
It's gonna be the shutdown reactor operators, not the fucking roving watches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
For
gonna
sure.
be port and starboard roving watch,
Yeah,
which that's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
I feel
that
like
sounds
that's worse than port and starboard SRO.
You're talking about not logging condenser hot wheel level shutdown now. Think about when you're going fucking 2-section roving watch because you've got your best mechanics that actually would go take logs standing SRO. That's realistic.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that. I feel like the more senior mechanics are the ones that are SRO junior when they're
SRO
roving watch.
assistant, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
SRO
true.
assistant, yeah. Just coked out in the SEO.
But then
chair
they're
for a
also
while.
making electricians and RC divers qualify roving watch.
That is true.
But
Oh,
if you're so when you're junior, you might be standing that.
Yeah. So that actually
guess-
kind of makes sense, I think.
Yeah,
I hope they're securing the shutdown electric operator more often now.
for
But
sure.
they're probably
that.
not.
It just seems like if you're
They're not.
like if you're junior, you're walking around, and if you're not, you're sitting down.
Mhm.
Which
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
So,
Yeah.
just to cover base for anyone listening, what Clay's saying about the shutdown electrical operator being stationed or not, should they be stationed Should they not be? There's a lot of I imagine there's a lot of different things you have to go take into account.
There's not.
to
It's very
decide.
specifically listed out, and we just refuse to acknowledge it.
Thank you for the concise answer.
I think there's like 5 things, and one of them is just if the SRO wants it to be.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
like, if there's someone, I would rather have them stand an SRO UI than shut down electric operator for the most part.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, if
Absolutely.
it's like if you're really trying to do some shit, which didn't happen very often, but if you're really trying to do some shit as shutdown reactor operator and the officer's either not there or not helpful, and you need to shift the plant, I guess it would be nice. But like, when does it end?
Yeah.
Because then you just station them, and then you have to get what was it, engineer's permission to secure if you weren't on the USS Get Fucked like we were.
Yeah.
I will say we got a lot better right before I got out. Like once we got back from deployment, I feel like we secured shut down electrical operator pretty often.
And I'm not
'cause
sure
you-
how it is on other ships, but that was
that
our
makes sense.
experience.
Yeah, I think Captain. We can't use last names.
Theron. Philip?
Not Theron. Captain
Philip.
Philip. Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
I think probably I would imagine that after deployment, he was a lot more relaxed.
Yeah, I
Because
would guess
deployment was successful, right?
Yeah.
Overall?
yeah. It
Yeah.
went very well.
I feel like he was really sharp and like maybe was a little bit nervous and like not sure what he was going to be allowed to get away with for his first year.
Yeah,
But then
Yeah.
after deployment, he probably felt a lot more confident and had his legs under him and was like more comfortable making those kinds of decisions.
Well, you got to think that the crew that he inherited, where was the sea time?
Radcac.
Yeah, you had sparse sea time, and then you had shipyard availabilities where morale fucking
and like
astronomically low.
right after he took over, like so much shit went wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he was the captain when we had a prospective EDMC fired, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was like early in his command.
Very early.
Yes.
Wait, you guys haven't had verified remote operability in how fucking long? Gone. So yeah, I mean, but even when he was new and green as a captain, it was still a breath of fresh air.
Oh,
to be able to have a
Oh, for sure.
reasonable
Yeah.
conversation with the skipper. Yeah. But I do assume that more places secured the shutdown electric operator more often. But yeah, I think it's cool to have wire rates learn the engine room shut down.
Yes. Yeah.
And then
For
have
sure.
mechanics be able to get a break when they're senior and hang out in the box for a while. I kind of like that. I didn't know the wire rates doing roving watch was a thing. That kind of
I forgot about that until we started talking about it.
That kind of changes the conversation a little bit. I thought originally mechanic standing shutdown reactor operator is a horrible fucking idea.
Because looking back, like that would have been awesome for like just level of knowledge.
Yeah,
honestly,
both ways.
Yeah, both ways.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because as a mechanic, I mean, you get pigeonholed just like every other rate does, but at least electricians and ETs both get that melded experience because they're both in the box. Mechanics are like, what the fuck are you doing in here?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know.
There's a long period of time, probably until about the last year of a sea tour, your first sea tour, where you could be sitting in the box during a casualty or something, like not really knowing what's going on outside of you. Like, all right, what the fuck are they doing out there? It would be cool to at least have a more solid knowledge base about the engine room.
Yeah, a lot of light jogging.
Yeah.
Casualty.
All right, let's shift to the fun shit. Captures that note. MDiv is qualifying SRO. All right, so the reason that I wanted to talk about being a nub is because recently, for some reason, Amber and I were talking about food runs. And it just kind of took me back to the days of food runs. And so I have a list of questions that some of them we're going to probably go into detail on. And then the end is just kind of rapid fire. But the first one I have, go ahead.
Hold on, Kenny. Before we go into this, let's talk about food runs.
Oh, yeah.
And the absurdity of a food run. So you take a junior person, this person that we've designated not so kindly as a non-useful fucking person,
Yeah.
as a nub, and we go,
So,
here
one-
are 30 people's fucking credit cards.
One thing that I
And-
thought was like, yeah, true. You're fucking 19 years old with 30 grown adults' credit cards.
Go get me a sandwich.
Just go scan them all at fucking McDonald's. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But one thing that like I never really thought about on the boat, and I think, I mean, feel free to disagree, but I think one of the marks of like true seniority when you're on the boat is like you decide that you're doing a food run.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
Yes.
fuck that meal. We're going.
Yep.
We're
We're doing
going
a
to
food run,
fucking.
and here's where it's at.
Yeah, exactly. I will tell you where we're going. You collect the cards. But the thing that brought it up was that Amber picked up the kids and got Whataburger one afternoon, and they came home, and the fries were still good. Like they were still crispy, you know. I was like, this would have been a good food run spot because the fries stayed good. And I was thinking about guys getting back from Five Guys with like bags of just greasy, wet noodles of French fries.
Yeah. I had to go to my house to go get a backpack to put all the bags in because the grease was sogging the bags.
Yeah.
That
And then the
backpack's ruined.
Yeah.
the fucking idiot nubs that would try to get like meals and have to come back with 16 drinks.
Yes.
Dude, what are
Oh
you
my
fucking
gosh.
Yeah, no drinks. That's a rule. No drinks on
yeah.
a food run. But
Hard
sometimes people will ignore that rule and just see if the nub will do it. But as a nub, you
Yeah.
are allowed to stand your ground on that. There are certain things as a
That's
nub that are like
unspoken.
you can say no drinks, and in theory, your senior division member on duty that day should back you up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that the nub is most powerful on a run. Like that's when you get true decision making. This is going to impact people power.
Well, I
Yeah.
always thought of the food run nub almost in the same sense of a court jester,
Right.
where where not only are you the duty section's entertainment because
Yeah.
you're being sent around doing just on duty nub stuff,
Yeah.
but you're everyone's little boy. You can just
Right.
send them around and go do taskings. But the court jester holds some clout with the kings
Yeah.
in
For
the
sure.
court, so you know they have that power to an extent.
I remember when we first got to the boat, we got back from deployment, and I think it was during the shutdown. They sent like all the nubs on this fucking gigantic drink run. And like I had a full list. One of the nubs had a full list. Like everybody wanted drinks and candy and everything that they haven't had for at least a couple weeks because they were, we were doing horse prep and all that shit. And I remember like half the things that they wanted weren't there. And I was just trying to make these executive decisions about like, all right, well, if they wanted that, maybe they'll like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
And getting back to the crew that's happy to be back and, not doing horse and all that. And then you're like, hey, man, they didn't have this insanely specific monster you requested, but I got you this. And they'd be like, nice. Like, yeah, fucking nailed it.
Oh yeah, you get a star next to your
Yeah.
name on the
Yeah.
board.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Uh-huh.
And then, the craziness of trying to do like a checkout with a human. This is before they were all fucking self-scan. And it's like, all right, this monster, this bag of Skittles, and this 16-pound bag of Starburst, that's for this card. And this one bottle of Coke is this card. And it's madness.
Well, one time, I think it was Wild Bill wanted a food run to Chili's.
Oh, God.
So I
That
got
makes
to do
sense. That
a,
makes total sense.
Yeah.
a food run to Chili's, and like the only menu I could find was like some out of date garbage that I printed off, and so I had like half the orders weren't even on the menu anymore. And someone
Oh, that's
wanted
good.
some kind of like shrimp dish. I can't remember what it was, but I got there
On
and I was
duty
like,
shrimp is wild.
yeah,
That's a
is
horrible
insane.
idea. Yeah, you want to bring that back from the restaurant? What if it's traffic?
Yeah.
well, and obviously they didn't have that dish either. It was one of the ones not on the menu, so they're like, well, I can just give you this tub of shrimp and this tub of this other thing. And I was just like, yeah, that'll do.
Sure. Send it.
Cool.
Oh, another thing that came up about food runs is we got pizza from a new spot here. And I was like, this really reminds me of a pizza we would get on a food run in the shipyard. And I was on like page 6 of Google search results trying to find it. Do you guys remember what it was?
The pizza place in
The
New
fancy
Hampshire,
pizza place. Yeah.
La Festa.
Oh, there was a
Yes,
fancy
it's
one.
La Festa. Yes.
I only know that because my wife and I talk about La Festa all the time.
La Festa
That's
is
her-
buried in the search results. If you search pizza Portsmouth, New Hampshire, it's literally like page 5 or 6.
It's in Dover.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
That's
I'll
La Festa,
never.
dude. La Festa in Dover was banging for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pizzas, the garlic knots, everybody would always rave about.
Papa J's was right behind where Dwayne and I lived.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Oh man, I spent some money at Papa J's. That place was so good.
The story I tell often to explain what our division was like is this. So I say, all right, we're supposed to leave the shipyard. So everybody's already moved out of New Hampshire for the most part. And then we don't leave. And so everybody needs to find a place to stay for at least a night. And so I stay with 2 guys in my division who live together. And I'm the first one to get to their house, which is Nick and Dwayne's house. And I'm starving. And so I open their fridge, literally nothing. It's literally empty in the refrigerator.
No
And then
sauce.
nothing. No condiments,
dude,
nothing.
Crazy.
And then I open the freezer. You guys know what's in the freezer?
Pizza.
Vodka.
Vodka. A bottle of vodka. And no mixers in the house. Just a bottle.
No, there was
seltzer
almost.
water.
Yes, there was
you had
almost
seltzer water.
always. There was a gas station on the way home that did buy one get one free 2 liters of Polar seltzer
Yeah,
water.
Polar seltzer was floating around in the house.
We'd stop by there about twice
Nice.
a week.
Yeah, but then I can't remember if I called you or Dwayne, but I called one of you and I was like, hey, you guys don't have any food? And you're like, yeah, we live right next to a pizza shop. Just go there.
Tell Papa J you're on the way.
Yeah, tell him Nick sent you.
That was like one of the few restaurants I did the whole little rewards program for and
Nice.
everything.
Yeah, you might as well. Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. Question number 1 about nubs. Should the term nub be considered hazing?
No.
No.
All right, bring it back. Settled.
Go jot that down.
I don't really know why it was. Like that is what you are. You're not.
It almost is. I've always thought of it less of hazing, and it was more of like I wouldn't say a term of endearment, but it meant you were like at least part of the team.
True.
Yeah, if
Like,
you
you
were
know
a
what I
nub,
mean?
you were somebody's nub.
Yeah.
Like someone
That's
would claim you
true.
and be like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's my nub.
That's my nub.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Don't talk to my fucking
know?
nubs like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, like they're like that's it's a thing. Can we also talk about like when do you stop being a nub?
That is the next question.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice
Question number
lead in
2
play.
is
Well,
when does someone actually stop being a nub?
I
The
think some
technical
people-
answer is like basically fully qualified, maybe disregarding shutdown reactor operator
I was gonna say
With fish.
with fish. Yes.
That's what it always was in my brain. Fish.
Yep.
Because like it or not, coners really care about fish, and nukes still care about fish, but not as much as the coners do.
we don't care about fish as much as senior and rate,
Correct.
Yeah, that is
and
true.
that's where my balance is scaled a little bit between forward and aft.
I think
Like
my
go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that I think my appreciation for a submarine qualification didn't really start until I was out. And you realize like, oh, that is significant. Like qualifying submarines is a thing. Like that's if you get kicked out of the Navy early or something and you're like, oh, but I qualified shutdown reactor operator. Like, dude, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh, but I got my fish. Like, all right, well, you did it then.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
you were a submariner for
Yeah.
sure. As an EDIVer, if you're qualified maintenance, auxiliary electrician aft, throttleman, shutdown electric operator, and you have your fish, and you're just like working on BEQ electrical operator, shutdown reactor operator, I'm fine with that. You're
Yeah,
still
it's-
like kind of a nub, but like not really.
That's the first comfy place you can get.
Yeah.
Is all right. I'm supporting every watch bill, and like I'm not there. I have a lot left to do, but whether we're at sea, import, I can support in some way.
Yeah.
That's the first time where it's like, all right, not everybody hates me right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I can do something. Nick, what do you think? When someone actually stop being a nub?
I mean, I think for some people, you never stop being a nub.
True.
Wow.
Unfortunate, but the fact of the matter. But no, I mean, I think widely in general, I'd agree. It'd just be fish and then senior and rate minus shutdown reactor operator.
That's why I did it backwards. I wanted to be the shutdown reactor operator with no fish.
I was about to say, because at least I'm pretty sure the three of us, Kenny, Clay, and myself, because we all became LPOs at the same time. We also got pinned at the same day. We were already senior in rate.
I was. I can't remember if Clay was.
I was. I don't think I was shutdown reactor operator yet. I think I was really close.
I had my SRO board like a full month before my fish. I was standing shutdown reactor operator for a while with a bare
With
chest.
no fish.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then I had to basically be given the fucking, you're the interim supervisor, and now you got to help with quals. Okay, sounds good to me. So
perfect.
Yeah.
When I passed my shutdown reactor operator board, Captain Theron said, "I've never done this before, but I'm going to qualify you before you get your dolphins. So please get your dolphins." Oh yeah, I'll take my time.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you in a month, dude.
See, I think by that point for us, at least the three of us, because we were outside of the situation that we just described for not being nubs anymore. So we didn't technically meet the criteria that we met, but also you got to think about the extenuating circumstances that we were in at the time.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I wouldn't
There's
consider...
a lot of personal circumstance around, like, do people consider you a nub?
Yeah, and that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's one of the points I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
I don't think the three of us were considered nubs at that point before we got pinned.
Yeah, it depends who you ask, I guess.
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Now you've got the forward and aft.
Right.
You've
Yeah,
got
in engineering circles, we were not nubs.
No.
It was just like, yo, are you ever going to
Yeah.
eat your fish?
Yeah, that's the...
Yeah.
We're fucking trying. I'm fucking
Yeah, man, I
busy.
will. You should be able to put a pipe patch on? No. All right, then. Fuck off.
I use that same material for packing pallets now, and every time I do, I'm like, wow, they made this seem like rocket science, but it's only because we used that weird fucking tool. Like if we just had like the tool we used, the bandit wrench, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
with the you put the dog ears in and shit. That
Yeah.
one?
Yeah. So yeah, he's talking about just palleting with bandit
With
strapping,
Gotcha. Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
it's a brand.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we called it that. It wasn't a cool like fucking Smokey and the, but
Smoking.
but no, the tool that we had at the warehouse, and that you was seeing like commercial like manufacturing places where they do palleting. It's not some fuck ass little tool that you stick in a bag and then hope.
Right.
No,
that
it's
you
like
never
very
touch again.
straightforward. And yeah, there's like three tools. There's one to cut the bandit strap. There's one that like cinches it down and tightens it, and then there's a third one that you crimp the dog onto it.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
But I
I
guess
like having all
in
three in
a
one, so you can
damage
break
control
something easier.
situation, you don't want to have three different tools
Yeah.
that you need to
True.
try to keep your hands on.
If I ever had to solo pipe a patch or the ship was going to sink, if it was outside like 2 months before I got my fish and 2 months after, we were going to sink, dude. I would have panicked. I would have tried to wrap it with fucking Marlin or whatever the fuck it was called. It's not working.
That's
Marlin, I'm grabbing EB Red, dude.
Yeah,
grabbing
true.
6 rolls of EB Red.
Yeah,
True.
that would do it. I think that would do it.
That's
All right.
Lane and I managed to have them stop the wet trainer on us because we were dunking our heads underwater while we were trying to pack the
No, they
pipes.
were afraid you were going to drown.
Oh, you were trying to get to a pipe underwater?
Yeah, I mean, it was like underwater and we were doing it, but the water was coming up. So we
Right.
just kept doing it. And then the water was at our heads and they like, you can't stick your head underwater. We're like, what?
Why
what else
not?
is there
It's
to
either
do?
that or we die.
Yeah.
So
Guess I
Yeah.
can't save the ship then.
Yeah. I will say
All
for
right.
anyone listening, if you take some two-part JB Weld, Marine JB Weld, and some marlin, you can make some very, very good bonding on small pinhole leaks. That works really well. So any of you guys are active duty?
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, dude. Well, someone had to fix something. Leaking. Let's use marlin covered in JB Weld.
Yeah, JB Weld fixed a lot of stuff around the bit. I mean,
Why isn't Flex Seal a thing on ships and submarines?
probably
Bad marketing.
Probably $129.99 a can through fucking Fedlog.
That's
true.
Remember, I would just be chilling at the RC workbench, and Big Daniel, anytime he would come up to me, I'd be like, "What'd you find in Fedlog?" There's always that's what he wanted. He'd be like, "Look at this, a $60,000 dog crate." Like, dude, go away.
Did he ever show you the prosthetic testes?
No.
What?
Yes.
Fedlog. I'm telling you, dude, it was always something.
Fedlog had. He came up to me almost in a sprint. He's like, "Dude, you'll never guess what I found on Fedlog." It's like, why the fuck aren't you qualifying? Stop sitting on Fedlog. And he's like, "Dude, I found prosthetic testes." And I was like, God. All right, now you got to show me.
Yeah.
So he shows me, and they come in sizes, and it's for like if something happens horribly where you
it's for surgery?
Yes, it's for a prosthetic replacement of a testes, so you're not walking around with like a empty purse.
I was picturing like
unbalanced.
I was thinking like, hey, do you want to make your CPR dummy more realistic or something?
That's what I thought.
All right, then cup his balls.
Yeah. Then check pulse.
Then check pulse. Then give rescue breaths to the mouth, not to the balls. And then give a rescue breath to the balls. All right, this one's maybe loaded, but what was your favorite thing about being a nub, and what was your least favorite thing about being a nub?
Oof.
Favorite thing about being a nub has to be no real responsibility.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yes, valid.
I didn't have a pre-planned answer, but when I read the question, I thought Sparkle Team Stopwatch Baseball was my favorite thing.
Dude, I was gonna say the character building with other nubs.
Yeah,
that was my thing
for sure.
Because you don't bond with people the same way unless you're going through the exact same hell.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the people that show up like solo or with one other guy, that has to suck ass.
That's tragedy.
Yeah. Because you don't have the herd of what dude, we were fucking every single day we were grouped up doing ad hoc Weird Al covers of songs about how we wish the Cobb would die or some shit. Like every fucking day we were into some shenanigans. I just can't imagine showing up alone and like, when's the next new guy getting here? Come on. I'm the juniorest guy for so long. And we kind of saw that, like the people that showed up before us. There was a small batch, right? It was John and Josh. And then before them, it was that Spoo. And that guy didn't make it.
No.
That mechanic, he was like, I'm out.
I mean, he didn't make it because he came solo. He didn't make
but
it for
I think it didn't help to be solo. And Clay and Danny got to show up together, which I think is like optimal.
Oh, dude.
Because then you
that was
share
the for sure. Dude, if I showed up as the only nub Spoo, and no other, not even any other nubs to like take the heat off.
Yeah, I mean, if a nub Spoo shows up with a nub, then you're king nub right away.
Yeah.
And then you only get
but you better like, can you imagine if you showed up with like some rock star that just didn't want to be a Spoo and they kick your ass?
Yeah.
Bro,
that would suck.
I was about to say, when you and Danny showed up with the boat at the same time, it was like fucking NBA lottery. You get pick one.
Yeah,
that's that's like an all-time nub.
It's Kobe
show
Shaq.
Up.
Yeah, Kobe Shaq. Wear package.
I was Shaq for sure.
On the flip side, you get Curtis. It's like, oh, this guy blows. He blows forever. And I think he blows forever partly because he absorbed all of the hate of solo nub, solo Spoo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was just getting it raw
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah, I'm sure it didn't help.
Shouldn't have been a spoo. Honestly, that's like one thing. If I could change in my naval career, I would not have been a spoo.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't worth it at all.
Yeah, I feel like the spoo game, you have to really play it like Wild Bill or Dakota. Like, you take advantage of that time, and then you parlay that into some more time not at sea.
Yes. Yeah. You try to like go LDO or do something else with
maybe
it.
I do want to be an ELT after all. Oh, and then maybe I also do want to be an officer, turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to put in package after package after package. But yeah, I think regular spoo tour would be, I get what you're saying.
And especially with like not doing a full 20.
Right.
But like I also can't imagine doing a full 20 on
same
688
I'd
fast
still
tax.
be in, dude. I'd still be in. I'd still be in for a long time if I was doing 20.
Oh, fucking yeah.
Nick, what was your favorite thing about being a nub? You were a nub after us, so.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think.
You did you show up with a small gaggle?
No, I was like not too far outside. It was like Bryce and oh gosh, what was Potato? Justin.
Justin, yeah.
Yeah, Bryce and Justin showed up like I think maybe like 2 months before me.
Oh, so you guys were even when you showed up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. That's another good scenario is if you show up and you're good after just horrible ones.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, this guy
I will say it heavily benefited me, and even better was that Jacob showed up like 2 weeks after.
Oh
me.
yeah, that is cream of the crop right there.
Yeah, so that was nice.
Are we a SSN or a SSVN?
God, I don't know if I had like a favorite nub thing. Like
your nub experience was almost entirely New Hampshire, right?
yes, I qualified like on the ride to California.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it was that's like shipyard was so weird and like so garbage.
So you never had any underway nub time, really?
Not really. Not like, I mean, 2 weeks or something like that, you know.
Sure. Yeah, by the time we got underway, you were almost fully qualified.
Yeah.
Provisionally.
Provisional quals were such dog shit.
Dude, do not get me started on fucking Gnosis. I do not want to talk about that in any of these episodes. God.
Qual Saturday, boys. All right, least favorite.
Dude, having to fucking stand in torpedo room my goddamn nodes.
Yeah,
that's probably
that's
my least favorite.
Like,
standing in torpedo room, I'm fucking I'm exhausted. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I've been doing shit all day. Not only have been doing maintenance, but also trying to get checkouts from people that don't want to fucking give me checkouts or the time to do it.
Yeah.
And then I'm still like trying to find these obscure lookups
Right.
that some corner gave me for whatever the fuck checkout.
Yeah.
And no one knows the answer because it's a tribal answer. So, and it's like, dude, let me go 15 minutes without looking at valve operating system one more time.
Dude, fucking my CDAD was Storm, and Storm was the worst for those because I would get these off the wall lookups, and I still don't know whether he actually knew or if this is just him being him. But I would go be like, dude, look at what they asked me, and I would tell him like they asked me, this thing, and he would just go, you don't know that, and that's it. Dude, thanks, man. Do you know where? And he's like, nah.
Nah.
To this day, so Rob was walking around and caught me doing small valve maintenance early on. What are you doing? I was like, I'm just trying to do some maintenance, man. I was like, I'm tired of trying to get checkouts. No one's got time for checkouts. And he was like, I got time for checkout. Oh, fuck. Do I take him up on the offer that he sees me doing something beneficial?
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, whatever. Worst case scenario, I get told I'm retarded, and that already happened twice today. So I was like, whatever. So go to the checkout with him. To this day, I'll never forget this because he made me go fucking find this in the Jiffin.
Jiffin?
Yeah, in Jiffin.
Shit, what
he was like,
say?
He was like, well, obviously, you don't know your way around a Jiffin all that well yet. And I was like, well, no shit, because I fucking don't. And he was like, well, so go ahead and give me some thumbing through of the Jiffin, and let me know the what did he call it? He called it the synopsis of various chapters.
What, that was for a checkout?
Yeah, dude. Welcome to hell.
Read several chapters?
But he just wanted the synopsis, right?
Yeah.
Just a vague understanding. And one of those chapters was volume 4, chapter 24. I'll never forget it. Would you have any fucking idea the reason I remember it, what it could be about? Maintenance on a...
I was going to say chapter 24 of the Jiffin sounds like one that came up a lot, but I don't know what it is.
Chapter 24 of the Jiffin became something I would use to punish with the Mercy No Mercy coin. Volume 4, chapter 24 of the Jiffin is maintenance regarding wood-hulled ships. I'll never fucking forget it. It exists exclusively now for the Constitution.
The Constitution? Oh my god,
there's a whole fucking chapter on maintenance regarding wood-hulled ships.
I'm like 70. I'm 75% sure when you took that back to him, he probably thought, "Oh, that's what I told you."
Oh fuck, wrong chapter. Oops.
Shit. All right.
But yeah, no, that's the kind of stuff that we were, But at the same time, like, you hate it, but at the end of the day, now you're part of the club once you get it.
Yeah, of course.
So you got to go through it to be part of the club. But yeah.
My least favorite thing was always that, like, kind of like what Clay was talking about. If you were doing something for somebody, nobody else cared. It was like, no, I need you to do this. Like, well, dude, I'm already doing. No, I need you to do.
Nope.
All right. And it just all day was just line of sight, no fish. That's the bitch right there.
Yeah, you're doing whatever I tell you to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm going to tie it back, I think, to the original story.
All right.
My worst part about being a nub, I think, was food runs.
Really?
I hated doing food runs as a nub. It's so much responsibility, and I don't like responsibility.
Dude, you know what? One of the worst feelings ever is you're on a food run and it's going badly, and it's like it's like 5:20.
Well, and I
gotta get back right now.
I always hated like you have to deal with someone.
Yeah.
And give them those 30 different credit cards.
Right.
Yes.
And that was like just pure cancer for me. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I hated that.
I don't like cringy, awkward situations, and that's like the epitome of it.
Oh, Spite Sniper.
Spite Sniper.
Speaking of nubs.
What up, nub? And then also, like, part of this is probably like a little bit of baby trauma, where when I was a nub spoo, I got conned into doing a coffee run.
Oh boy.
And for like 20 people.
Jesus Christ.
And they didn't just want to go to Starbucks. They wanted me to go to this like uppity coffee shop in downtown Saratoga Springs.
Oh, it's in New York.
Yeah. And then people wanted like weird shit. Like people didn't just order like coffee or like a latte or whatever. Like someone wanted that, like they're like, give me some kind of like raspberry frappe. And I was like, I don't even know what this place is. Like, what if they don't have that?
And then you have, at Saratoga, that means you have to get that then through the turnstile.
Yes. Also, through the turnstile.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, through the X-ray machine.
And also not only do I now have like 20 or 30 credit cards to use.
Yeah.
But each transaction is only like less than $5.
True.
So then the coffee shop is pissed at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you
gotta get everybody back and leave $5 tips for every single card.
Yeah.
That's what I should have done. Yeah. And like people would give me cash and the cash wouldn't be enough. And like, no, fuck food runs, fuck drink runs. I'll do a next run, I guess.
Yeah,
because like at least everything's just in cans. I could put it in bags.
I was down for the next runs usually.
I like the freedom of a food run. As long as it went well, I liked being out for because it's like 2 hours you could be out on a food run.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm not getting line of sight tasked while I'm driving around. Nope.
Too much pressure.
I will say one of the worst experience I ever had doing food runs was my first ever food run.
Yeah.
And I got tasked with the duty sections, things like a standard run, but it was a hybrid of go get food run at dinner
places?
and then go to the next.
Oh,
so some people didn't want dinner; they were going to eat boat dinner, but they wanted necks.
Right.
And then the rest of the people wanted food run, and so I've got my fucking shitty little notes, and everyone's handwriting's hatefully different.
Yeah.
And then you go and you're like, okay, I've got to game plan this. Which one do I go to first? Because someone's gonna lose.
You gotta go to the next.
Obviously,
next. You gotta go to the next first.
Got to go to next first, right?
drink.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So go to next. You get your drinks, go get all the stuff, and then you got to go get the food, and you go get the food, and then me not really grasping what I'm doing, I go to the fucking drive-through.
Oh boy.
Right? So I'm like, cool, and then I literally place the order, and they're like, cool, and I get up to the window. And I fucking reach into my stupid pocket and I hold the cards like a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and I go, "Oh fuck, I gotta come in."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Whatever, I'm not even gonna attempt this."
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Can you guys hear me now?
And it's like nauseating because now you're freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're panicking for sure.
You're panicking, and then
I just
get
thought
back.
one of the
and the
funny...
person in the drive-through is not like they're never the sharpest tool.
Oh, dude, if I worked at a drive-through and somebody came in and was like, I have 15 orders, I'd be like, dude, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I just thought like a good microcosm of the way submarine culture turns you into is when you talked about deciding which one to go to first.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, imagine a nub comes back with like, hands you a cold burger.
Yeah.
And then they give you an ice cold drink. Like, what did you fucking do, you fucking retard? You went to the next second, you goddamn buffoon. I mean, I'll explode.
Yeah.
I used to go home on food runs.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because I lived. Well,
just
dude,
cashing them good deal checks as you're fucking going.
I lived at Point Loma, or sorry, what is it, Nimitz and Rosecrans?
That's true. You did live right there.
And so I would just I had to go past my house to get to literally anything.
Yeah, I imagine today's Lucas, if he was in the Navy now, he'd park at his house, Uber Eats our orders to his house, and then drive him back to base.
Dude, he was given a blank fucking good pawn checkbook.
Lucas,
Just
we're talking
cash it
about
when you need.
We're talking about being a nub, and this question is favorite and least favorite thing about when you were a nub.
Oh, least favorite thing's easy. Everything.
That's what I wanted to say. I didn't feel like that was an allowed answer.
It's not.
I mean, to be fair, my favorite thing about being a nub was nothing. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite thing was probably having a lack of responsibility.
Nice, yeah. That's what Clay said.
But then least favorite thing had to be hands down notes in the chow line.
Yeah, that's what Mikey said.
That's what Mikey said. Hell yeah.
With a very close second being anything related to Dink Study.
Oh, I forgot about Dink Study.
Dink Study could just go to hell.
No, Dink Study on the weekend, dude. Dink Study on the weekend can fuck straight off.
Mikey, were you with me that one time when this is in Shipyard? It's wintertime. It's cold. We're walking to Jamaica Island at freaking 6:00 at night because we're on Dink Study.
Dude, I forgot all that.
Wow. And we're walking there, and all of a sudden, some guy in his NDubs with parka comes riding by on his bike. Shh. And Mr. He goes, Dink Study losers.
Yeah.
Oh man. Nick, did you say your least favorite?
No, I think my least favorite would just go Dink Study is so strong because I hated that so much.
I totally knocked Dink Study out of my brain. That's the answer, I think.
But I think on a fundamental personal level, it was literally just like how much the coners care about fish.
True.
Like
True.
it used to just annoy me so much when you have some stupid coner that's like just qualified fish, like
Yeah.
not like last week, but 3 months ago, and then they're like suddenly shitting on you, and it's
They
like
get the god complex.
and then like you're back there doing maintenance and like all this other stuff that like these people aren't qualified to do any maintenance because they're not 3M or QA or whatever, and it's like
Probably not qualified to talk on a phone.
Yeah, also probably true.
Yeah.
So it's just like how much they only care about that one thing and how worthless they treat you based off just that one thing. It's like there
very
is
true.
no whole picture.
I was talking to a guy at work. He's a RC diver, who was an RC diver on a carrier who went to the shipyard for a long time. And I can't remember how it came up, but he was like, yeah, I got out of the Navy as an E4. And I was like, you got out as an E4 as a RC diver? He's like, yeah, dude, it's impossible to make without star enlisting. I was like, okay, whatever, that's crazy. And then I go,
was he in after us?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, well, at least we talked about something about having to do boards. And then I was like, oh, well, at least your warfare device board you probably got to do with some guys. He goes, oh, I've never got my warfare device.
Oh, shit.
What? And I was like,
tour?
Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean you didn't get it? He goes, you're not even required to until you hit E5. It's optional as E4.
Holy shit.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, let me tell you something about warfare devices on submarines.
No shit, dude.
I was like, they will kick you off at 16 or 18 months if you don't have it.
We've seen it. It's supposed to be 12, isn't it? You have to get a waiver to go past 12?
Something like that.
Yeah. Because our coaches are getting wavered left and right.
Yeah.
And one of them ran out of waivers.
Also true.
Yeah.
To Nick's point, yeah, I mean, like, if you go on a carrier, warfare device, what? But you go on a submarine, holy cow.
That is pretty crazy. When I was close to getting my fish on paper. Mental, level of knowledge, not even close, but T-Will, the cook T-Will, was he was prepping for his walkthrough before his board, his engine room walkthrough, and I was standing reactor technician. And he was trying to like show off for me for some reason. Him and I weren't really friends or anything, but he was like, yo, you know these? And I was like, yeah, the high packs? He's like, yeah. You know the power supply to those? As though he was like pop quizzing me. And I thought that he didn't know. So I said, oh, they don't really have one. They just kind of like power themselves. And he went, nice. And then walked away. Wow. I assume he did not get asked that on his fish board, but dude, he might still to this day
sick.
think
Can you imagine if he did though?
Yeah.
The battery.
Well, he told me. I just asked him.
He answered it so confidently too. Oh, they power themselves.
Yeah. He was like,
yeah, for sure.
Like
but,
he knew that the whole time.
What?
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's awesome.
All right.
That's very Texas Hold'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just like sense that he didn't know it, and you just like. Well,
you could have said fucking air.
It's gonna be a 25. It's powered 25 on top.
I think those are powered by sea pressure, my dog. Oh yeah, sea pressure. Nice. That's a good one. All right. What makes it a nub good? What makes a nub bad?
I'd say for good would be effort. Like you can be not very smart, but if you put in a lot of effort, like that shows up a lot, I feel.
John.
Yeah.
Right? The mechanic, John.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, his scale of justice.
He was the dimmest bulb in the night pool. But
his level of knowledge to level of effort scale of justice is way
he evened out with the two scales.
Yeah.
But then you had I don't remember his name. TOA, remember him?
Oh yeah.
We
were talking about him just
I only know his last name. But like he tap on
Hog
arrival.
Hunter.
Tap on arrival.
Joe. It's like I'm gonna make you tap on arrival. He was the opposite of effort. Honestly, level of knowledge and effort low.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
When it's both.
Yeah.
My answer to this question is 100% personality.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I was gonna say they're
when Jacob showed up, he sucked, and I loved him, so I didn't care at all.
Yeah.
And I kept loving him all the way through his dinkness and being shitty and not doing anything right. I still love Jacob. And I think that's all it is for me.
Who was the serial killer dude who got kicked out of RC Div?
Serial killer.
Troy.
Dude. Oh yeah,
Troy.
Troy.
Yeah, personality wasn't really there on that one.
Dude, yeah, Troy was a tough one because he turned the corner and became very likable when he started getting hate fucked by everybody.
Yeah, he did actually.
Yeah, and that like to the point where I was in the office screaming at NGDMC about how ridiculous it was for him to be getting kicked out. And 3 months before that, I couldn't have cared less.
I'll drive him off base if you like.
Yeah, fuck it, I don't care. Call the
He started lifting with Marco,
True.
and he his personality kind of changed.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Was that pre or post appendicitis, Marco?
Free.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seemed like what turned Troy around was him having the downtime to cut out pieces of paper drill props for fucking drill periods.
Oh.
But yeah, that's all it is for me. If I like you or you're likable, I don't necessarily have to like you, but if you're likable, I think that's all you really need.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest freaking prank gotchas on MDiv was because Mikey, myself, Ken Barrett, we all showed up at the same time, and DJ Remix.
Right.
And we all, Mikey, myself, and Ken Kyle, all failed interim lower level exam. But DJ Remix passed. And then they were like, the chosen one has arrived.
Right.
And they thought he was going to be the best thing ever. Freaking prank.
We were like, buckle up.
Prank.
Exactly. And even if he would have been, he was insufferable, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would have taken a month for everyone to be like, yeah, fuck that guy.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
Especially, it would have been worse if he was good.
True.
I think him sucking so bad contributed to a little bit of humility after a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was the only time he was likable, was when he was humble. So that's
true.
I'm going to go with if a nub has a decent work ethic and they're humble, and it's nice if you don't have to tell them stuff more than twice. If I got to tell you more than once, I understand. If I have to tell you more than twice, I don't like you that much anymore, because it seems like you're not trying.
Yeah.
And if you don't know something, please have the humility and the courage to ask.
I think Ronaldo's a good example of all those things. He never really got it, but he tried really hard. He was very likable.
Yeah.
So it was fine.
So I loved him for sure.
Yeah.
All right. The last question is the quick fire list. So these are just activities, and I'm gonna say it, and you guys say whether or not a nub should be allowed to do it or not allowed to do it.
Oh yeah.
All right. So it's the first section is all import only.
Not allowed.
All right. Watch TV on cruise mess.
No.
What time of the day is it?
Any.
And is it a weekend?
Okay, that's a better question. Is it
Any.
Ooh.
Yeah, sure. We'll say on a weekend.
I feel like after 5 p.m. on a weekend.
Yeah, after 5 p.m. on a weekend, I'd allow it.
Me too.
I don't think I ever would have.
So here's the thing.
It would depend on my mood, and you guys know I was
knowing that I
bipolar.
did.
You watch TV?
For sure, dude. I watch sports.
So
I'd sneak and do it.
That's the thing. Sports have a special place in my heart, but
I snuck and
it's
did
so
it because I
unfair.
knew it was wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like if someone was like, "Look, man, I'm just a big Pistons fan," I'd be like, "All right, fine." But if they were like, "Yo, I'm just really into the Bernie Mac show," I'd be like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself." Dude.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Well, it would depend on the nub too, because if it was a
For
real
sure.
garbage nub, then no way.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. I'll never forget.
All right, so let's make all these a dude just showed up. You don't really know if he's good or bad yet.
First
Oh,
one.
we'll give him
benefit of the doubt for sure.
Oh,
You
and
think-
then
you think
way.
you can watch-
Absolutely
On a
not.
weekend after 5 p.m. for sure.
Go
So
find the boat.
we'll say this is his second duty day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
And it's
absolutely.
No.
It's good to give him something that he can take away. Not at all.
Dude, I don't think I ever would have let it And I'm pretty
If
soft.
it's your second duty day, absolutely not. No.
Here's the thing: you better be getting in bed because he's got the mid-watch.
True.
That's a good point.
Correct.
I would also say that. I'd be like,
You're gonna
look,
be
you
a
can stay
sleepy
up and watch
boy.
this, but you're standing mid-watch, and if you fall asleep, you're gonna have some splaining to do.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna say
watch.
Generally, no to that answer.
All right,
question.
next one is import dessert / ice cream. You can treat them the same or differently if you want.
I'm fine with it. Yeah, import. Who cares?
I want to say no only because I didn't get to.
Right.
So that's
I will
always
hate
have
those
the-
because I was hated.
Yeah. Most of the things on this list are on this list because we didn't get to do it.
I would say yes, also with the caveat where if you ask permission, then almost definitely yes.
Yeah, I'm a yes on this one.
That's Desi
But
was my
also-
C dad, so I asked him every day, and I ate a cookie every day.
I don't think I ever ate dessert as a nub other than the first duty day ever in Guam.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
was-
usually couldn't get dessert because John had already eaten it all out of the fucking trays.
Yeah.
I was
by the
told
time-
early. I was told early on by Bryn that I can eat dessert whenever I want, and if anyone has a problem with it, he'll handle it. And I still never did, just because I didn't want the fucking hassle.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna tell fucking LS1. Oh yeah, take it up with Bryn.
Yeah.
As
I'll
I'm
never
scarfing
forget.
down shitty peach cobbler.
It was like my first or second duty day in Guam, or maybe it was after we pulled in, whatever. And it was like cherry pie, and I got a little scoop, and I was sitting at that booth right by the TV, and Jimmy slides in next to me. He goes, "Hey, eat that really fast, and don't ever get it again."
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a yes for that one. All right, the next one is
Wait, hold on, pause.
Okay.
Do you remember when who's the big Lofi sonar tech? I don't know his first name.
Willie.
Nick. That's really his name?
No.
Oh,
Oh, I have no fucking clue what that
Okay.
guy's name
He
is.
might have been
It's
William.
probably Willie.
It's William, but I
Yeah.
like how you just ripped a Willie.
Yeah, Willie. That's what I always called him.
well, you're gonna have to strap in for some more first names here. But he was on Cruise Mask, and there's a couple coners. The chief of them all was,
Oh boy.
Yes.
Oh god.
Jason.
Jason.
and has this big old bowl of ice cream, and he's like, and they're like,
we
"You
just
like
told you his
that ice
first
cream?"
name. You could at least say
Willie.
it. Yeah.
And they're like, you like that ice cream? And he's like, yeah, I really like it a lot. And they made him go back to the soft serve machine like 4 times and keep eating.
Oh, it's like they made him smoke the whole pack of cigarettes.
Exactly.
Well, have some more.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
you like it still? Have some more.
they were being so condescending. And I was like, dang, man, this is like sad that he doesn't get
But he
it.
probably never got it.
No,
No, he was just like stoked that he got to eat more ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I mean,
real.
I'll
still
get
fuck the
more.
best day of my life.
Anyways, that was
Yeah,
that was awkward.
good.
All right. The next one is play not video games. So play like card games, board games in public.
No.
No,
Import.
No.
same as TV.
Yeah, no.
What about cards on the barge?
Mm.
Barge cards is always allowed.
Dude,
Barge
Barge
cards
always
is
use
allowed.
another.
The barge does throw a curveball to most of these rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're
barge
trying to
card-
play oh crap or something and like you need a fourth. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, get the nub in here.
True. That
Yeah.
is usually when we would make recruitments.
I played a lot of
Yeah,
barge cards.
true.
Dude, we turned that barge into a fucking like Vietnamese underground. pit.
Dude, it was
It's
a
just full of
hostile-
smoke.
I think I won $200 off of Matt one time for playing barge cards.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I mean, we were.
It
ripping
might have been
vape-
100, but we'll call it 200.
ripping
Dude, I
vapes,
mean,
streaming movies in the office on a fucking work computer.
Oh my gosh,
it was
Ruben and
like
I got caught doing that.
Yeah,
it's
I
like a
think I
mahjong
think I
pin.
did my fantasy
Yeah.
football draft in the office one year.
that sounds right. Yeah,
Me and Dylan, I think we're in there drafting.
yeah. The barge does throw a wrinkle into most of these rules, but
Well,
Ruben and I were
it-
about
like none of those cases is the nub gonna be like initiating
true.
that stuff, you know.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get invited
Yeah.
except
by
barge
invite
cards
only.
sometimes.
Yeah, I think if you're any situation, if a nub is playing a game with not nubs, no one would ever say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if 4 nubs are playing spades on the barge,
Flip the table.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Flip the table. Game over, bitches.
Ruben and I on a Sunday morning were about 20 minutes into a Star Wars movie on EDMC's computer. Feet up on the desk.
Yeah, of
like
course.
this.
oh, you owned it.
And guess who came walking in at 9 o'clock on a Sunday?
Rob.
What's going on, fellas? What you doing in here? Like, gosh dang it. As soon as he came in.
Studying. We're trying to get a hold.
I was fully qualified.
We're trying to get a hold of the Gnosis help desk. Kenny, you got any insights on that? All right. Read non-boat material.
Is this like in their rack or in line or on cruise mast?
In public.
Yeah, what
This
is
is,
it?
is all this in public.
Not in their rack.
In
but
public? No, absolutely not.
No.
No.
Hard pass, everybody. No. All right. This is the one I came up with. I didn't tell you guys. All right. So it's a duty day in port. No assigned racks, obviously, because we're in port on a duty day. Can the nub sleep in 21 man?
No.
No.
Absolutely
No
not.
way.
All right. How about 9 man?
No.
If there's an open rack in 9-man, sure.
Yeah,
I guess
I
that's
don't
true.
care
Yeah,
about
nobody
that,
really
man.
cares.
Whatever.
That's a disrespected domain, anyways.
I just think that's
Yeah.
that's one of those things that you would ruin someone's life over, and they would have no idea they did something wrong.
Yeah.
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 It's just so funny.
Honestly, one of the best times being a nub, though, is laundry.
That's
As
true.
a nub, if you're doing laundry, you just do laundry. And the worst thing that you're going to get tasked with is like throwing someone else's stuff in with yours.
Oh, I always got where's your notes when I was doing laundry.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, I had my notes, but like I was just sitting in the corner in the laundry room. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care.
It can be pretty chill in there.
I used to try to take naps.
That was my entire import list. Did I miss any?
I mean, you are allowed to go sit on your cell phone topside, but there's like a limit to it.
Yeah, I almost put
It's an
something
unspoken
about like,
rule.
yeah, I almost put something about like personal electronics, but I feel like if you're on the pier,
Yeah.
whatever.
We'll
Import-
find you if you've been
import-
gone that
But
long.
if you're not to
Yeah.
be found, though,
Yeah, true.
That's
If you can't be found,
Stand
that's
by.
the problem. But it's not because you were doing like on your phone. It's just like where you need to be on the boat.
Yeah.
And import, maybe it's changed now, but it's not like anybody was bringing switches and shit
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're gonna catch them playing.
yeah, no way.
All right, at sea. Burn a flick.
No.
No.
All right, how about this one? Sit facing the TV.
Yeah. I was going to mention this.
With it on?
With it on.
With it on? Oh, dude.
Oh. No, because you know they're watching.
No. No,
Turn
dude.
around.
This one feels like
fine.
where it starts to get kind of absurd.
Because
Is it
I
during
was
like
physically-
mealtime? Like, are they playing a music video, or is it like a movie or something? Or
okay, the fucking what
Yeah,
was
we'll
the
say
one that was always on?
Post meal Pitch Perfect 2.
Pitch Perfect 2, that's it.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
I
turn
was
around.
physically told very early, hey, get the fuck up and swap seats with me. And it's like, how was I supposed to know that? Uninitiated.
Yeah.
How the
Yeah,
fuck
also
was I
they were
supposed to be
sitting
like,
down first.
I can't look at TV.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
you
this
just
like-
sat in the open seat.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I think that's a funny extension of that rule is
it is.
you can't watch TV. You also can't have the opportunity to look up.
Yeah,
and see
You
the
can't look in the
TV.
direction of.
You know some nub is gonna come around and lift the jump seat up
Right.
and face the TV.
All right. This was Clay's edition. Clean a non-bilge area during field day.
I don't really care. I'm not cleaning anyways, so it doesn't matter.
If you're a nub, you better not be like vacuuming deck plates or like wiping down something that's within easy reach. Like you better
That's
be
fair.
in that cranny. Get in
That's
there.
fair.
Yeah. You've got to at least pull deck plates up. Minimum.
Yeah.
Deck
I
plates better
never-
be up minimum.
I never cared what Nubs were doing during field day. I sometimes took inspiration from like how they were trying to half-ass it.
Well, we also experienced, the three of us did at the same time, Sparkle Team.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Cleaning was
we
forever
learned
ruined,
the
but-
fucking ins and outs of bullshittery. I mean, the hours of fuck games that we can just created out of thin air.
If you have a
Hours.
dirty chem wipe on the end of a bilge stick, your job is done. Your job, you have your trophy.
Yeah, give me 3 minutes to really get this thing nasty, and then we can go back to fucking off.
Yeah, just pour fucking oil straight on.
I mean, do you know how many times I wiped out the lube oil purifier trays?
Right.
Dude, probably thousands.
Just to have oily chem wipes.
I still will now and then. I will still make fun of Danny for how many times he cleaned the trash during field day. It was like
That makes
monthly.
sense.
Monthly, he was cleaning the trash.
That's Jake always had a little cranny that he liked to get into, and I found him in it one time, just passed out on a pillow of chem wipes. So the next field day, I beat him up there and used it for myself.
You talking about four
Hell yeah.
of the heat exchanger in TG Louisville Bay Mezzanine?
No, that was a good one. This one.
Okay, that's a good nap spot.
Yeah, no, that one was good. Now this one was more forward.
Is it unclassed to talk about best snap spots in an engine?
Ooh, that might be an episode. And it might get pulled down by the fucking whoever controls release of classified material. But if Keg's breath's on it, I assume it's going to get through.
Yeah.
As long as we don't say the word like inclusion in the whole episode. It should...
Yeah, we're
Bleep
gold.
that out
Yeah.
in post.
I'll bleep it out.
As long as I don't say beep.
Oh, man.
All right. Keep the water running while they're in the shower.
That's not allowed for anybody.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Nobody.
As a half-ass maker of water, no, anyone.
Yeah, I don't think a single time I showered at sea did I ever keep the water on.
Neither did I.
I never
I
actually caught anyone doing a Hollywood either.
I've heard people being yelled at for it when I was in the head, but I've never. I would never say anything to anybody either.
We did catch one person doing a Hollywood shower, and it was during sea trials. It was a shipyarder.
Oh.
And I can't remember who was in there with me, but they turned the valve for the hot water off.
I remember that happening. Yeah,
Oh, that's
I do
good.
remember that.
Did we get a talking to for that?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Just tell them
No,
they
I
ran out
don't
of hot
think so.
water.
Yeah,
No,
don't
I
think-
mean, like, did he tattle?
Oh, I don't. That's what I'm saying. Even if you tattled, be like, "Hey, we ran out.
I've never seen it run out for real.
Water heater ran out."
Water heater ran out.
Yeah.
Like it's a fucking apartment.
I mean, no joke. The manufacturer of our water heater also manufactured our rod control cabinets. I think they were pretty good.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Sleep in their off-going.
There's extenuating.
Dude, you're going to be awake in
circumstances.
your oncoming as a nub.
Let's assume that there aren't. Let's assume that it's regular day.
Yeah, no extenuating circumstances. No, you ain't
No.
sleeping during your off-going. And if I hear about it, I'm fucking you up.
What about getting ready for bed during the last hour of their off-going?
Fair.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
I'm fine with that.
Really?
I want my nubs to take showers and brush their teeth and,
Yeah, and they're
They don't
fucking
need an hour,
oncoming.
though.
generally be clean.
They don't need an hour.
And they're oncoming. That's when they do it.
That is a good
Eh.
point. You're going to get 8 hours to the rack, even if you start at the 16th hour.
You're gonna get just about 8. Yeah.
Because you're not
You're
relieving a watch
Right.
unless
Yeah,
you're standing
true.
a UI. Which even
Which you are
then-
sending UI.
Oh, I just thought of another good one to add.
But honestly, I don't want to. I guess. I guess.
Oh
that is
yeah,
the
can you
best
go
time.
to the front of the oncoming line? Is that what you're gonna
No.
ask?
As an
No, but it's similar.
Ooh.
Oh, that's actually, yeah, let's do that one. Can you eat with the oncoming
What if-
standers?
If you're
What
UI,
if you?
Yeah, if you're a UI.
no.
No.
Get back.
What if that person has their notes tattooed onto their forearm?
Done deal.
The one I thought of just now was third mealing.
Yeah,
I-
dude, if you want to stay up that late,
Yeah.
for sure.
I've never cared about third mealing.
I would never even notice if somebody was doing it.
No,
Me neither.
Yeah.
not a chance.
All right, not stand a UI.
There better be a good fucking reason.
There better be a good
And
fucking reason.
the
Yeah.
reason better be because I told you that you're doing something else and not standing a UI this watch.
Not you decided you were doing something else?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just really had to go get this Enda card. I don't give a fuck.
All right. No, you
take
can
it.
get an end
You
card.
get it?
I'm
Did
down
you
with
get the end
that.
of
Just
card?
kidding, I'm just
No. Okay. Buckle up.
Yeah, now you're getting fucked.
All right,
Mikey, I just told somebody the other day a story about, it was the RC div guy, because he would understand how you and I bamboozled the Eng out of our Engine upper level interview. You remember that?
Dude, please tell this.
We got like 2 questions into the interview for Engine upper level. Something comes up, and Wild Bill has to bail. He's gone. A week or so passes, and we finally reschedule with him.
That sounds right.
And he's like, like I can't remember where we got. I think we got like pretty much through the whole thing, right? And we're like, yep, pretty much got through the whole thing. And he just signed it off.
Yeah, you should have put like a dab of red ink and be like, you started to sign it, and then
Yeah.
and then he left.
You were like, give us the call cards, and then they called you away. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the last one I have is I'm going to change it a little bit. Let's just say use a computer for like non-qualifications. And we'll make it more extreme. Like we'll say during a time they're like oncoming. And they're like making funny shit in Excel or finding memes or checking Sailor Mail.
In their oncoming?
Sure. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, can they ever do that?
Sailor Mail, yes. Memes,
Yeah.
artwork, other fuckery, no.
Unless it's Ben. Lil
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah, what if you see it and it's fucking dank meme?
It's gold.
It's dank. Dank.
It's dank.
No, not allowed.
Would you steal it?
No.
Steal it and claim it as your own.
So then that dank meme has to just live until he gets his fish to be sent out.
Correct.
Hope that's still relevant, bitch.
What if you caught him right in the middle of the most juicy gay mail?
Respect.
Respect.
You would let a nub send a gay mail?
It depends on who it's to, obviously. But like,
True.
you know.
Would you be okay with watching a nub do something on someone else's, like someone else is logged in as a form of prank?
I guess not. I'd probably be pretty pissed. Well, is that other person a nub?
Yeah, I think that's the only
Nub on
thing
nub
that I
crime
would
is
add.
allowed.
No,
Yeah.
crime is
If,
like,
if it was another nub, then who cares?
it's highly like welcome.
It's encouraged.
Encouraged.
Yeah, encouraged.
Yeah.
Nub on nub crime is certainly encouraged.
I don't remember who it was, but somebody in RL Div sent a gay mail, and they just did RL Div, and it went to EDMC. I remember that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Where they went to send all, where he puts himself in all of the mass
Mhm.
divisional. Oh, that's
I
genius.
think that was Zach.
Yeah, it was always either Zach or Bobby.
Yeah.
We need to turning his around quickly. That's the end of my list.
What
We
about
need to turning around quickly. What was that from?
It was from the lead ELT.
Up. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Can't remember his first name.
Yes.
Yeah, all I
I'm
can-
not convinced he had a first name.
Yeah. What even goes with that last name?
I am totally blanking.
But the email was it was in response to everybody being Dink.
Yeah.
And it was I think the subject line said about Dink Stundy with a
Yeah.
Pink
Stundy.
Stundy
Dink Stundy
and Qualls.
and Qualls. And then the last line, it was all about, I mean, just littered with rambling and incomplete sentences. But the very last line said, "We need to turning is around quickly."
I almost got Dink Stundy tattooed on my body at one point
Yeah.
while I was on board.
Dink Stundy and Qualls. We had a dictionary that we kept maneuvering,
Mhm.
and the back 3 or 4 pages were blank, and so that just got filled in with
New words.
shit that he would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
He always got related to that character that's in Rick and Morty for just a quick blip. I think they work at the train station or whatever, and Jerry goes to buy a ticket, and they're like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's accurate. All right, that's the end of the list. You guys got anything that we didn't talk about?
Oh man.
Nub related?
Being a nub.
Oh, let me read you this thing I found. It's on the Submarines subreddit. This is posted by a nub, and it says nub ? What does the term mean? Why do senior sailors insist on referring to junior ones as such? Is it appropriate to use in today's Navy? This is 8 months ago. How does one look past blatant disrespect from their own crew? Am I really a not useful body if I'm doing the division's bitch work? I submarine volunteered to prove to myself I could be part of something special, and it seems like the system doesn't want me to succeed. Any advice?
You know what I would have commented on that?
Let me hear.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up, Nub.
Top comment: do your job. Don't ever get dink.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Like,
Yeah.
I thought top comment you were gonna say is shouldn't you be at Ding Study?
There is the second or third most upvoted comment just says shut up, nub.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.